Good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to the newest edition on a new year to this very warm afternoon in this beautiful family of VirtuoMasters Club. A big round of applause for all of us who have made through a difficult 2021. Yes. This is the 95th meeting of VirtuoMasters Club, and in this meeting, we are going to have a very special occasion. We'll be having a few other things that will move this club forward going into the next term. Now, before I get into the meeting part, I would like to set a few rules that we need to follow during this meeting. First up, please keep yourself muted until and unless we are required to speak. As a encouragement to the speakers, I would request everyone to uh, keep your video in on mode when the speaker is giving a speech to give them extra motivation. And third, and very important nowadays, don't talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner during this whole meeting. Now, as we start this new year, I would like to reiterate on the promise we Toastmasters make as a human being to improve ourselves. So I would request everyone to repeat after me. I think my screen is visible. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so that they can see the benefits of Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Now that we have made the promise, it's time to move into the business end of the meeting. And for starting this meeting, I would like to invite someone who is very jovial, very friendly in nature, who is also heart of this club. And obviously, moving forward, he will lead the club into a glorious future. Please put your hands together for this club's standing president and obviously going to be president, Toastmaster Amrish Bhavania. Please, stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, Anansu, for such a wonderful introduction. And Happy New Year to all of you. New Year brings new energy, new hope with happiness. But this year, the New Year brings the third wave with it. So I want everyone to be precautious and take care of near and dear ones. Everybody should avoid gathering, less traveling, and stay at home. Everyone should again start using mask, sanitizer, and social distancing. But social distancing should be the physical distancing, not the distance between the hearts. There are many people who need help, who are in trouble. We should extend our hand to help them. Instead of showing that we are maintaining social distancing, we cannot support you. We should support, come forward and help them whenever there's a need, because it's the time of need. Because if you see in your neighborhood or something, there are many people who are facing trouble this time again. So it is the time of maintaining good relationship and maintaining a close relation between hearts. Now, today we have our installation ceremony, and for that, we have someone who is very close to me since I had joined my Toastmaster journey. He is one of my very good friend, and he is Division R Program Quality Director, and he is also BP Education of Kolkata Toastmaster Club. Please help me welcome the installation officer for today's installation ceremony, DTM Saurya Roy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrish, for that warm welcome. Can we have a round of applause going for the standing president, Toastmaster Amrish Rouhani, before we move things along? It's a pleasure to be here as the installation officer, and as part of my duties, it's my task to discharge all the existing EC officers from their duties and to install the incoming EC officers to their new executive committee posts. So as of now, I would just like to ask if there are any outgoing executive committee officers present in this meeting right now. You can just respond with an yes.
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 So, in the physical meeting, the practice was for the outgoing executive committee officers to stand, but since we can't do that in a virtual meeting, I would just like to request all of you to raise your arms virtually, all those who are the outgoing executive committee officers. There's an option to raise your arms virtually. All those who are the outgoing executive committee officers, I would just like to request all of you to use that. I hereby discharge all of you from your duties and thank you for all of your accomplishment and your service in order to take VirtuoMasters forward in the last 6 months. You are hereby discharged from all further duties and responsibilities as officers of VirtuoMasters Club as the time goes on. And now, new officers, as and when I call your name and position, I would like all of you to switch on your cameras and repeat yes, I will when I ask a question. Starting off with the Sergeant at Arms. The duties of this, but before I do that, do we have the Sergeant at Arms with us?
Yes, Anurag is there.
Yes, I'm here.
So, the duties of the Sergeant at Arms are to reserve the meeting space with the proper authorities, make sure that all supplies and materials are properly distributed or displayed at meetings, greet guests and members, and call the meeting to order at the scheduled time. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Perfect. So as of right now, Toastmaster Anurag Jain, you are the new Sergeant at Arms of VirtuoMasters Club for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Anurag Jain?
Thank you.
Next up, can we have the treasurer spotlighted into the screen? The new treasurer.
Ayush is not there.
Is Ayush Seth? Is Ayush Daga?
No.
No worries.
No,
In that
Ayush is-
case, I will just describe his duties and someone else from the new executive committee can respond I will from on his behalf. So Toastmaster Amrish, can you do this needful?
Yes,
The
yes.
duties of the treasurer are to collect dues from the members, send the dues and the membership renewal reports to Toastmaster International, and pay the club's expenses. And I hope Toastmaster Ayush will perform these duties to the best of his ability.
He will.
As of now, I declare Toastmaster Ayush Daga as the new treasurer of VirtuoMasters Club for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have virtual applause for him? And next up is the post of the secretary. So can we have the secretary spotlighted for everyone? The duties of the secretary are to keep an accurate record of the members, submit the official list to Toastmasters Internationals after the election, and keep the club's charter, constitution, bylaws, and minutes. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Perfect. So as of now, Toastmaster Kshitij, I declare you as the club secretary of VirtuoMasters for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Kshitij? And now, can we have the Vice President Public Relations spotlighted for us? The duties of the Vice President Public Relations are to promote the club to the local media, spread the word about membership programs, and attend Toastmasters events. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
So as of now, I declare you as the new Vice President Public Relations of VirtuoMasters for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Rima? Moving on, can we have the new Vice President membership spotlighted for everyone? As a Vice President membership, your duties are to conduct ongoing membership building programs, explain the educational program to prospective members and ask them to join, and follow up on new members and absent members. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
So as of now, I declare you, Toastmaster Sita, as the new Vice President membership of VirtuoMasters Club for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Sita? And next up, can we have the Vice President Education spotlighted for everyone? The duties of the Vice President Education are to plan successful meetings to help members achieve their educational goals, orient new members with Toastmasters program as soon as they join, and monitor members' progress. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
As of now, I declare you, Toastmaster Shilpa, as the new Vice President Education of VirtuoMasters Club for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Shilpa? And now, can we have the new president spotlighted for everyone? Toastmaster Amrish, you are being elected as the president of VirtuoMasters Club for the new term. You are its chief executive officer and you will be expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of the executive committee. It's your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. And it's also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. You are a member of a team and a leader, and your team is more than a collection of people. It's an emotional force rooted in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone will be proud. And will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Perfect. So as of now, I declare you, Toastmaster Amrish, as the new president of VirtuoMasters Club for the term of January to June 2022. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Amrish in particular and for all the new EC officers in general? It's my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed in the offices to which they have been elected. And with that, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Amrish back on stage to provide us with a plan regarding the next 6 months. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Amrish. Let's have a round of virtual applause for him.
Thank you, DTM Saurya Roy, for stepping in impromptu for the installing the EC as a DTM caustic is not well, and in Toastmasters, where leaders are made, you have shown that a leader is always available to help the team and the members. Thank you once again for being available for all of us. Last 6 months was a great journey for us. We have done many meetings and joint meetings, even with cross-border initiatives. And we have also conducted some fun sessions, KBC, everything last 6 months. We have also once, and I have personally met with few members during the tenure of last 6 months. As a VP ad, I had got chance to interact with each and every member of VirtuoMasters Club. Overall, it was a great learning for me as well, others also. It was the leadership of DTM Panna Rasmide which made this possible, and the effort of EC that made the last 6 month journey very beautiful. Now, new year, new term, new era, new EC. I have read a quote written by James Allen. A person is limited only by thoughts that he chooses. But in Toastmasters, and in our club, we are not limited by any thoughts, but unlimited in learning due to our mentor support, our VP education follow-up, and bonding between the members. And this bonding will continue if we communicate with each other and grow stronger during coming days. I believe in collective effort and inclusive growth. I want every member to feel free to connect any of the EC member. And I'm sure my EC team will happy to help you to provide the guidance whenever any member is in that requirement. Dear friends, we need to go beyond our limitations, help each and every members to grow and achieve their goals, for which they have joined the Toastmasters, whether to leadership, communication, anything. We are there to help them, support them. And we have very good supports of our seniors like DTM Panna Rasmire, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh, Toastmaster Krish. We have DTM Rohan Nag, DTM Satyadeep Basu, Dr. Rupesh. They are there to support us. They are there to guide us if there is any mistake from the juniors, from the EC. So we should take that utilize that. And with their support and every member support, we are going to achieve many milestones in the coming month. What I want, every member should support us and come forward to take roles and give speeches. If any member has any idea, please communicate to the EC member. If nobody is available, call to me. We will try to incorporate that in our meetings, and we will try to make meetings more interesting, and will excuse me, will keep learning continue. Thank you for electing me as a president for VirtuoMasters Club. I can see there are few guests in the meeting. I have introduction of the guest, or name, what they are doing, and from whom they come to know about the VirtuoMasters Club. So I would like to ask Akanksha, guest Akanksha, can you tell me from where you come to know and what you're doing?
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a student at IFT Kolkata. I'm a part of IFT Kolkata Toastmasters Club. So I got to know about this club and the meeting from the WhatsApp message that was floated on the Division R group. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Thank you for joining, Akansha. I think you will have a great time today evening.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you. Guest Ayush said, can you tell me?
Hi everyone, I am Ayush, and just like Akanksha, I'm a colleague from IFT Kolkata. So I'm looking forward to a great meet here, and I'm happy to
Thank
meet
you.
all of you guys.
Thank you, Ayush, for joining us for today evening. We have Rajat Rangari. Rajat Rangari, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Hello, my fellow Toastmaster. I am Rajat Angari. I am also the colleague of IFT, and I got the message on the webinar. So we are pleasure to meet all the Toastmaster.
Thank you for joining us, Toastmaster Rajat. We have Jasim Popli from IFT.
Greetings, everyone. So I am also a member of IFT Toastmasters Club, and it was my first time experience here, like watching a virtual installation ceremony, and a great one indeed. And looking forward to have a great interaction with everyone here.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasim, for joining us. We have guest Anij. Anij, are you there? Okay, I'll connect him later when he will be available. Now, it is the time to welcome our Toastmaster of the day. He is the person who is always ready to help me. He had always two answers whenever I asked her for any role. Either I'm available or I'm traveling. He keeps her luggage ready. Whenever she got chance, she move away for the trip. And she is a professional working with IOC. So help me welcome the avid traveler of VirtuoMasters Club, Toastmaster of the Day, Shraddha Lama.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrish. That was a lovely introduction indeed, because that indeed summarizes me. I'm either traveling or I'm available. Thank you so much. I love the introduction. So catching up with all of you after the last year. So a new year, happy new year to everyone. And for the session today, the meeting today, I have this theme for you, New Year's resolution. Because while I was thinking about what should be my title of the meeting, what should be my theme of the meeting, the first thing that struck my mind was New Year's party. Because of COVID and also because of many other reasons, I will not be able to throw a party for you. So the next thing that struck my mind was New Year's resolution. So that's how I came to decide this theme for the meeting today. So as most of us know, and a few guests have also joined, so generally our Toastmaster meeting has three sections. First is the prepared speech section, where we have all the speakers coming in with the prepared speech. The second section is table topics section, where we give titles impromptu, and then the speakers have to speak impromptu, but that section is removed today because of the paucity of time. The third section is the valuation section, which is very important for any Toastmaster meeting, given that is going to give you the feedback for your speeches so that you can come back later with better speeches. So three sections. Okay, so moving ahead, I want to start with one question. How many of you believe in New Year's resolution? Anyone, you can just give me a raise of hand if you believe in New Year's resolution. There are not many believers of New Year resolution here.
I do.
Except Rima. Rima and Kshitij. Thank you so much. At least we have two people in our meeting today who believe in New Year's resolution. I'll come back to you. But let me ask you then, what could be the commonest New Year's resolution for 2022? Any guesses? Anyone, you can speak up?
To stay fit.
Stay fit. Who was this?
Anurag.
Anurag. Toastmasters Anurag. So anybody, any other guess for the common most?
Stay away from Corona.
Staying away from Corona. Interesting answer. One more guess. I'll take last one more guess and I'm going to display the answer. Can we have any guest talking to us? Jashim is there. Jashim, could you answer us? What could be the most common New Year's resolution?
To go to gym daily, maybe.
Very interesting answers. Many of Toastmaster Amrish also has some answer for us.
Waking up at the 6 a.m.
Waking up at 6 a.m. That could be for many. Probably, yeah. Interesting answers. I want to display the answer. Only the host has to give me the right. Somebody please give me the right to display the answer on the screen. The host, please. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I have the most common New Year's resolution. Yay, exercise more. So Toastmaster Anurag is right there, bang on. And I think one more person gives the answer, correct answer. So many of us know what is the most common ones, but I don't know whether we actually achieve it. So moving on, I would like to call on the e-podium our general evaluator to introduce his role as well as the role of the tag role players. So before I call him on stage, I would like to introduce him in a way how he has answered me. So I asked him what his New Year's resolution is. He said, maintaining a journal so that I can keep a track of my progress. Before he takes on the podium, I would like to ask him whether he's been able to do it so far. It's only 8th of January. It's been only 1 week, whether you're able to keep it, Toastmaster Anurag.
Yes, I'm trying to maintain an Excel sheet of where I'm spending my time, just the way I used to maintain my income and expenses journal. So I've been able to do it.
Thank you so much. That's an inspiration. And the podium, e-podium is all yours, Toastmaster Anurag, and for your tag role players.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, to be Toastmasters and dedicated Toastmasters over here. I'm the general evaluator for the day. And as a general evaluator, my role is to pay close attention to each and every aspect of the meeting, right from the beginning. From the point where Sergeant at Arms starts the meeting till the very end, when the Toastmaster of the day gives back the podium to me to evaluate the whole section. But this task is humongous and I can't do it all by myself. But I have my team ready with me. So with this, I would like to call on my first team member, which is the timer, Toastmaster Orithro, to explain his role. So, Toastmaster Orithro.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green card, yellow card, and red cards. I will be showing the cards at the end of the description. The table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. They have to speak for at least 1 minute, and at the most they can speak up to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Icebreaker speeches should be between 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will raise green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise yellow card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Other speeches should be between 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise red card. Evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise green card. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise red card. There is a grace period of 30 seconds, both at the lower limit and the upper limit of time for evaluations and prepared speech. However, in case of table topics, there's only 30 seconds grace mark at the upper limit. So table topic speakers will have to speak for at least 1 minute. Today, we don't have that section, so it does not matter. But can I share my screen to show the cards? Okay, the sharing has been disabled. No issues. I will prepare a report of how much time
Please
each of the
check,
speakers.
also please check now you would have
Okay.
the access.
I do. Thank you. Just a second. Yeah. This is green card, yellow card, red card. I hope the colors are distinctly visible to everyone. I will share the report at the end when called upon to do so. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arithro, for explaining your role. Next, I have on my team the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Abhijit.
A very good evening to all the Toastmasters and my dear guest. And also a happy and prosperous New Year. And this New Year is not at all prosperous as we are in the epicenter of third wave. My role as an R counter is to note fillers which are used by the speakers, which are and I will also listen to the crutch words such as well, but, so, you know, etc. I will note when a speaker repeats a phrase that is not needed and of long or short pauses. I will be giving my report when called by the General Evaluator to do so. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijit, for the introduction of your role. Next, I have the grammarian of the day in my team. So can we have the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Shweta, to elaborate her role?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and to be Toastmaster. I'm grammarian for the day, and my role as a grammarian is to pay close attention to the good and not so good usages of English grammar, like all the phrases, sentences, English grammatical usages like prepositions, tense, etc. I will pay close attention to all those things of all the speakers in the podium. I would provide suggestions for the improvement also. As a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is mellow. I repeat, the word of the day is mellow, which means as an adjective, it means pleasantly smooth or soft, free from harshness. For example, mellow music and lightning help to create the right atmosphere. As a verb, it means make or become calm. For example, 8 years of meditation mellowed him. I would urge all the speakers to use word of the day as much as possible. And I would also request all the audience over here to show a virtual thumbs up or a clap, whoever uses the word of the day. And I will present my report when called upon to do so by our General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta, for explaining your role. With this, I come to an end to the introduction of the role players. With this, I'll give back the podium to the Toastmaster of the day, and I'll come back at the end of the session. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag. Can we have a big round of applause? Maybe virtual, but yeah, a big round because they have a very important role to play, all the tag role players as well as our general evaluator. Thank you for explaining your role. And going to the first section, that is our prepared speech section and the first speaker. Not going to the first speaker, going to his evaluator first. Our first evaluator is Toastmaster Amrish Bhuwania. He's going to evaluate the speech of our first speaker. I asked him whether he believes in New Year's resolution or not. He says no. He doesn't believe in waiting for a new year to take resolutions. How amazing. Like thank you for the answer. I definitely believe in that actually myself, but still, yeah, thank you so much for the answer. I would like to call him on stage to share first speaker's project detail. Toastmaster Amrish, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. All the best to the speaker, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrish. Our first speaker today is Toastmaster Ashutosh. So I asked him if there's a New Year's resolution he has ever made and has been able to achieve it. He took his time and finally answered. I'm thinking since yesterday what that resolution is, but then I realized the challenge is I have never made one. I've never made a New Year's resolution because I believe in taking a resolution whenever I really want to do something rather than waiting for New Year's. And I was like, it will make a good table topic speech. That for all of us is our Toastmaster Ashutosh. Thank you so much for that lovely speech written as an answer. And he is going to be our first speaker. Calling on the stage, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. 6th September 1965. Once again, Indian Army responded to the irresponsible and cowardly act of Pakistan. Our brave hearts were at the striking distance to Lahore airport. At that time, India was dependent on the wheat which was being imported from United States of America. And the then President of United States, Lyndon Johnson, asked our Prime Minister to stop the war, else US will stop giving us wheat. Our Prime Minister, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, responded with the grit and said, please stop giving us wheat. We don't need it. And then on the auspicious day of Vijayadashmi, he gave this slogan to our nation and told us, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, my fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan is not just a slogan. Hail the soldier, hail the farmer. It's an inspiration. This slogan paved the way for green revolution in our country, which actually made us independent as far as production of food grains are concerned. Shastriji knew that food security is as important as securing our border. And he knew it is only and only possible if our farmers are prosperous. Before I get this step further, I actually wanted to narrate a story of one of the farmer who used to do farming in a village somewhere in Uttar Pradesh. His name was Halku. One day, he came running to his wife and said, Munni, can you please give me that money which I gave you? On that, Munni responded, if I give you that money, how will you buy a new blanket? But he came towards Munni and said in cajoling voice, but Munni, this debt collector is at the door. I somehow need to get rid of him. Give me that money. I'll somehow find blanket. He took the money and walked towards the door. He was walking as if he was tearing his heart out and giving it to someone. Then came the winter month of Pos. One night, he was lying there next to his farmland. It was so cold that even stars were shivering. His pet dog was under his cot. Both of them were not able to sleep. That's when Halku looked up to see how much night is left. And he realized still 1/4 night is left. That's when he put a smoldering piece of coal on floor and started gathering dry leaves around it. And very soon the fire started burning. He started feeling warm, started feeling better. But suddenly his pet dog ran towards the land and started barking. He was also able to hear the noise of the animals tramping and running in his field. He also got up and started moving towards his field. Suddenly, a gushing cold wind came towards him, and he felt like a scorpion has bitten him. He went back to the dying fire, put up the sheet which he had, and simply slept there. In the morning, his wife came and woke him up. You are sleeping here in bliss, and see what has happened to our farm. Both of them started running towards the farmland, and there they realized that entire crop has actually been destroyed. Munni was very sad, but Halku somewhere was very happy. Munni said, now to pay the debt, we'll have to work as a daily wages. That's when Halku replied, so what? At least I will not have to sleep here in such a cold night. You know, friends, this story was written by Sri Munshi Premchand in the year 1930. Almost 90 years have passed, and the situation of farmers are even worse. Do you know what would have been the ending of this story if he wrote this story today? कुछ फांसी पर लटक गए, कुछ और हो रहे हैं तैयार. कुछ फांसी पर लटक गए, कुछ और हो रहे हैं तैयार. कैसी मची ये हाहाकार, अन्नदाता की सुनो पुकार. Farmer is shouting, but nobody, no one is there to listen to them and to help them. Friends, every year in our nation, 10,000 marginal farmers are doing suicide. 10,000. Government comes, government goes, but the plight of farmers remains the same. Once I remember, I was traveling towards Melbourne airport in a taxi, and the person driving that eventually was from Punjab. And that's when I started the conversation. I asked, Praji, why did you migrate? And then he said, oh gee, it was very difficult for me to make my ends meet as I was doing farmer when I was in Punjab. I said, okay, then what did you do with your land? He said, oh, my maternal brother is still doing farming on that land. I said, Waji, that's amazing. That's great. That means you're making money here and you're making money from your land as well. He said, no, Naji. I still need to send money to him so that he can survive and do not get into drugs. This is the reality in wheat bowl of India. Now just imagine the situation in places like Vidarbha, which has got highest number of farmer suicide in India. And you know what's most ironic for me? Vidarbha is in India's so-called most developed state, Maharashtra. Is this development? Friends, it's high time that we understand the challenges which our farmer faces, and government takes monumental steps to make their lives better. Only and only if their life is better, we will have food security. And as citizens of India, as responsible citizens, it is our turn now to do everything which we can do for our farmers to make them prosperous. This can be the only and only tribute we can give to our son of soil, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri. Friends, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Thank you.
What a speech, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Can we have a big round of applause? If it was a physical meeting, I would have called for a standing ovation, but then virtual round of applause. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Yeah, so that was really touching speech. But coming back to the normal happy happy theme of the meeting, let's get back to knowing who actually have uh, made any New Year's resolution. Toastmaster Ananshu is ready, but then let me just take one question. Anybody who has ever made to a New Year's resolution?
Every year I make resolution, but
Is
there
this
is no use.
Toastmaster Shilpa?
Yes, it's me.
And yeah, were you able to execute it? As in, were you able to achieve it?
No, never.
So in fact, we have a lot of people who actually break it. Though we make it every year and we somehow manage to break it. Let us know the statistics of about the numbers of people who actually take it. I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah. So here are the statistics. So after 1 week, 75% are still successful. And it says after 2 weeks, the number drops to 71%, after a month, 64%, and after 6 months, 46%. So can you guess what could be the percentage after 6 months? Not
20%.
This is within
20%.
20%. Somebody else, any wild guess? I'll take one or two more because 20% is not that correct, but it's somewhere close. Not close, actually. Anyone? Wild guess? 20?
30%. 30%.
30? Anyone for more or less?
15%, maybe 10-15%.
15%. Let me have the answer here in front of us. It's only 4%, sadly. So Shilpa, don't be sad that you break it. Most of us, in fact, in the world are breaking it. It's only 4% who are actually able to achieve it after 6 months. So
At least after 6 months, they are 4%. I cannot achieve in 1 month also.
Okay, but Shilpa, still it's a motivating figure. 4% is motivating for all of us that we are not the only ones who are breaking it. So maybe next time, better luck. So moving on to the next speaker and his evaluator first, DTM Shaurya Roy. So I asked him to share his viewpoint about the New Year's resolution. He said, according to him, the best New Year resolution would be not to have one any year. So here I did not ask him to elaborate because I wanted to ask him to share it with all of us. DTM Shaurya, could you please share with us on what exactly you would have on New Year's resolution? What's your thought on it?
According to me, the best New Year resolution is to not have a New Year resolution every year. That's the New Year resolution which we can make.
Why why is that, DTM Shaurya, if I may?
I would like to agree with Ashutosh. If we are resolved to do something, we can make a resolution any year of the day, any day of the year, not just the first year or the first week. So
okay, I get it. So all of us, in fact, all the speakers, whoever have spoken, have the similar kind of thought with respect to New Year's resolution. Thank you so much, DTM Shaurya, and I would like you to kindly share our second speaker's project detail.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. My target speaker is delivering a project from his level 3, and the purpose of this project is for the member to determine their style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. Would like to request the timer to please note that the time limit is from 5 to 7 minutes, and all the way to the speaker. Thank you, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, DTM Shaurya. Our second speaker, who's already since a long time, is there. So he's Toastmaster Angshu. While I get happy every time I rightly get his name on my first shot, I asked him to share his New Year's resolution so far he's ever made. And he says every year he makes the same resolution. And it was working great till 2019. That is to maintain being fit. And since mid 2019, he's lost touch and he wants to get back. So all the best for that, and all the best for your speech, Toastmaster Ananshu. Toastmaster Ananshu, we learn from failures. We learn from failures. Toastmaster Ananshu, over to you.
We are special. We know that. But something that we don't know is the solution to our problems, unless we make that attempt. Well, some know it the tough way, while I learned it my ways. When I was about 8 years old, I was playing in a neighborhood football tournament with some of the older guys in my area. Run ragged, beaten up, I could take no more that day. Suddenly, the senior most guy came up to me and said, looking into my eyes, "Come on, push harder, you can make it." Oh, I charged up. I tackled the most toughest guy in the opponent. Bam! My eyes opened up to a beaming light. Sound wave coming into my eardrums. "Son, can you hear me?" There I lay in the hospital bed with a broken tibia, shin bone for the non-bio students. This time, I realized it's important to assess the challenge before committing oneself. Dear Toastmasters and fellow friends, Samuel Beckett once said, "Failure is pillar to success." And who better to make this statement correct than Nikola Tesla? Well, he's the person behind electricity in our homes, right? No one believed in him. Hardly a few believed. But still, after his death, 70 years down the line, his idea of wireless power transmission came into effect. My Tesla moment, though, is some 140 years down the line. And similar to him, I also adore Elon Musk. Most of us do. And even I want to make a company myself, only for it to be called failures. Back in the college days, I was not so cool guy, you see. No one believed that I could have a girlfriend, nor did I. But then, for every Dr. Sheldon Cooper, there is an Amy Fowler. On a beautiful winter afternoon, I took her to a nearby park. There we sat, getting all mushy, in the mellowed atmosphere, romantic as it gets. Suddenly, the police siren, it woke us up. Whoa, what to do? We have never been in this situation, evading the police. We started running. We reached a monumental wall. It was too high. What can I do? But then, I was a gentleman. I believed in ladies first. So I pushed her over the wall and started climbing myself. As I reached on top, I was very joyous. I could feel free. Tha! 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 3 strokes of cane sent the current chilling down my backside. I flipped over the wall. Never mind, I had to stand going back in the rickshaw to my home. Now stop imagining doing my morning stuff, standing up. Okay, it's enough. But then I became wiser. I learned it's important not to run away from your problems. You have to face it front on. And problems, we'll get it whenever we take new roles. And this time, when I got into a new job, I was given this opportunity to give a presentation for this new product that was coming. I got on the stage. I took out my pointer. Hardly anything came out of my mouth. I was stunned. That moment, an angel, my mentor, came and showed me the pathway to this beautiful club where people were speaking and learning and having fun. Herein, I was given this impromptu topic to speak on. I spoke for 2 minutes. I aced it like a pro. I felt on top of the world. I could do no wrong. Right then, someone was sitting at the back. He was listening carefully. At the end of the meeting, that person came to the stage and he said, "You are good, but you can be better. You have to this. And most importantly, you have to be regular in your meetings." This day, I fell in love with public speaking. So much so that my company believed in me and turned me into a trainer. And nowadays, I go out across the country giving trainings for my company. Some nights I sleep really well. On others, I mumble speeches at night. But dear ladies and gentlemen, this has given me this opportunity and make me a better, confident speaker. Now I can speak in any forum confidently. But this would not have been possible had I not made that step. Mark Zuckerberg said, "It's more risky not to take the risk." That is, if I look out currently around this beautiful forum, I can see a lot of people who are hesitant with these important and the competitions coming in and around fast and furious. You are not sure if you want to take that step, but you won't know if you are good at it unless you make that attempt. Thank you and over and out.
Let's give it up for Toastmaster and Angshu. Thank you so much for that lovely speech. It was confident and humorous. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next section, that is the evaluation section. I would once again like to call our general evaluator and his team, Toastmaster Anurag, to take over for the evaluation section. Toastmaster Anurag, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shraddha. With this, we'll go to the evaluation of the first speaker. So Toastmaster Amrish will be evaluating Toastmaster Ashutosh. So can we have Toastmaster Amrish to give his evaluation?
Good evening once again, and Asutosh in particular. What a speech! Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. It brings the josh in everyone. It was a very good storytelling project you have done today. You have created a scene which I can personally feel that the situation was there and I was a part of it. I was just like I was watching a scene there, and the things are going through how Harkuas has asked her wife for the money, how it was the cold there, and what he has done, and how the animals were destroying his field, and all drama you have created perfectly. You had also used voice modulation many times, like when you asked money from your wife, when you had a talk with the driver in foreign, that Punjabi driver with whom you have a conversation regarding how he is sending the money to the India for his brother. Excuse me. And you have also taken us back to the history and situation of 1930 and shows the situation of farmers, what they are doing and how the situation was. And you have also tried to connect that with the current situation by showing the hanging farmer in the same situation today, and also explained that today many farmers are doing suicide. There are few points which I'm going to suggest you which can improve your speech to a next level. Since beginning and in the few times during the your hand gesture will move to this 4-5 times. I've seen that you are doing like this few times, that I seen 4-5 times, that you can restrict upon. Second, when You were giving that story when Harku woke up in the morning and wife came and saw the field was destroyed. You can have some facial expression of distress and deep sorrow and put handed at to show her concern that, oh, what you have done, why you slept full night. Now what we will do, we have to work hard to repay that. And after that, you can show the how Harku was happy. Oh, but he was happy that he does not have to work, sleep in the that cold night. Third, when you were talking to a driver, that Punjabi in the foreign, it was like you were standing with him. When he was driving, it was like changing a position and one hand on the steering. No, Sirji, I have sent him to money. Like he's looking back when he will talking to you. And what type of new challenges today farmers are facing? If you can put some effort and light on that, it can be a better speech for all of you. You had storytelling, you had great drama voice modulation, but you have worked what you have told. It can be better. Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Amrish? That was a wonderful evaluation done by Toastmaster Amrish. This is how we do evaluations in Toastmasters in general. We give commendations, recommendations, and then we summarize it. So I completely agree with almost all the points that Toastmaster Amrish has given. And just something for Toastmaster Amrish is that he could do a better time management. So I think he saw the red card and there he didn't finish his recommendations. By the time the red card comes up, we should start with the summarization of the evaluation. So this is what recommendation I have for Toastmaster Amrish. Coming to Toastmaster Ashutosh, brilliant, marvelous, and any other adjective that could be used to describe your speech, your stage presence, and whatnot. Believe me, Toastmaster Ashutosh, this is one such speech where I honestly didn't want to evaluate at all. I just wanted to just sit in front of the screen and enjoy listening to you. You were completely into the character. You were dressed like it. You had a prop. You had that voice modulation. You transported us, literally transported us from this in front of the screen and to feeling that cold winter or the scorpion biting us, that bitterness of cold. So a great job done. You also had a message, something that we all should be grateful to, like we eat almost on a daily basis, but we never thank the farmers or anyone. We never consider their plight. So a great message that you have brought, and I would say great job done. I mean, I just don't have any recommendations. Kudos to you and your mentor for this wonderful delivery and wonderful write-up of this speech as well. So next we move on to the evaluator of the second speaker. Can I have distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy for his evaluation?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and a very good evening to each and everyone present here right now, and especially to my target speaker, Toastmaster Ornamshu in particular. Toastmaster Ornamshu, today the first thing which I loved about your speech was the stories which you had. You began with a story where you injured yourself while playing football when you were a teenager. And therein, you shared other stories with us as well. When you, just a second, when you shared with us the time when in your college days, nobody thought that you could have a girlfriend. And then when you aced a presentation in your new job, and thereafter you also had a story where you delivered a speech in a meeting and where you got feedback regarding how to get better in public speaking. And in middle of the stories, you also had quotations from Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk. So all in all, it was a speech which I should say was built with a central idea in place about how we should never give up if we are struck by failures. And the fact is that the thing which made your speech more effective was that you stood up and delivered. So we could see clearly your expressions and the stage movements which you had in your speech. the little nuances which you incorporate within your delivery, which made your speech so much more effective than a normal speech, which we normally see in a virtual leader when a speaker sits and delivers. But having said that, every good speech has some scope to become better. And today I feel that you could have done a better job in the speech structure which you had, and I will tell you how. Today, you began your speech by sharing a story where you injured yourself by playing football, and therein you would introduce the characters of Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk. I felt these two examples of famous personalities could have been pushed back in the conclusion to add more impact to your speech. And also, in the end, when you were delivering your message, you spoke something about how it's not important to be intimidated by failures if we are to speak in any forum. So if the central message is regarding that, how is the story of the football relevant in that solution? I thought your speech could have had more impact if you would have shared with us your struggles in the field of public speaking, your struggles in the field of Toastmasters, your escapades in your old club in the form of joystick Toastmasters and in VirtuoMasters. That way, I felt that the central message of speaking freely in any forum could have had much more gravity. And I feel that in the end, when you introduce that message of speaking freely in any forum, this story of the football, it somehow lost some relevance in my hindsight. And also, I felt that after moving the examples of Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk to conclusion, if you would have swiftly introduced one story after the other, like in your teenage period, you got injured by playing football, and then you moved on to your college period, and then to a new job. That way, the structure could have been much better. But I think, other than that, I would frankly say that the speech was complemented by nice stories, and the humor that was very much there. And since the objective was for you to understand your style of humor, I would say that you had accomplished that perfectly well. All the best for your future speeches, and I can't wait to see you speak again. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy, for your wonderful evaluation. Now, this is the best thing about Toastmasters. If you have such a veteran speaker or a veteran evaluator, what you could do is you can take away some learnings from that person. So the great thing about distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya Roy's evaluation is that it always has a flow. Like even the first commendation, the second commendation, the third commendation, and the recommendation, it all has a flow. It feels that as if he's telling us a story. So this is a key takeaway for me, and this is something that I think the whole audience could take away with them as well. Now, coming on to Toastmaster Anangshu, I totally enjoyed your speech. I could honestly feel the character coming out of the screen when you said the rage, the pain of the cane, or the rage that the character had. So I could honestly feel that out of the screen itself. You had some great analogies, and the only recommendation, or this will be Anurag being too pedantic, is that you could just check on your grammatical errors. That's it. So great job done, and hoping to listening more speeches from you in the future. With this, I would come on to the report of my tag team players, and after that, I'll do the evaluation for the rest of the role players. So can we have the timer on screen to share the timing reports?
Good evening, everyone. It was indeed a very mellow experience listening to all these speeches and the evaluations. Toastmaster Ashutosh took 7 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Anangshu took 6 minutes 38 seconds. In the evaluation section, Toastmaster Amrish took 3 minutes and 39 seconds, and he won't be qualified to vote. Distinguished Toastmaster Shaurya took 3 minutes 30 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Orithro, for the wonderful report. So I'll do your evaluation along with this. You had the role introduction in the beginning, so great job done on that part. You explained all the timings. Now, just given that we didn't have any table topics today, and because of the paucity of time, you could have skipped that explanation of that section as a whole, instead of wasting the time over there. Your report quality was awesome. It had the colorfuls, it had all the colors where the disqualification was there. So great presentation as well. Moving on to the R counter of the day, can we have Toastmaster Abhijit to give his report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. The session was mellow of its kind. Here is my report for our counter. Toastmaster Anurag had multiple R's. Toastmaster Amrish had 2 R's, used and multiple times, and had 3 long pauses. Toastmaster Shraddha had multiple had used R multiple times and so multiple times. Toastmaster Orithro used R twice. Toastmaster Shweta used once. Toastmaster Ashutosh had 3 repetition. Toastmaster Ayananshu had used R once, well twice. And finally, DTM Shaurya was flawless. So good job done there. Yes, that's all from my end. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit, for the comprehensive report. Our counter reports are a bit comprehensive in general. So you explained your role wonderfully. You explained the concept of or the crutch words and the long pauses if there are any. The only recommendation that I have for you is that if you could have shown it in an Excel format, this would have been easier for the person who is speaking to identify where he or she has done mistakes. Apart from just listening, maybe a visual experience would have enhanced it. So that's it from my side. Next, we move on to Toastmaster Shweta, the grammarian of the day. Toastmaster Shweta, can we have you on the podium?
Thank you. I had a very good experience of all the mellow speakers in the meeting, and there were a lot of good usages in the meeting. I was able to note few of them. Few of the good words used were gushing, humongous, motivating figure, trivia, plight, and a lot of good phrases and quotes are written over here, like keep a track of my progress, farmers is shouting but no one is listening them, failure is the pillar of success, it's more risk not to take the risk, last but not the least, Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan. And few sound words also I was able to note here are bam, tack, 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 etc., etc. Some of the not so good usages of words were such a cold night could be said as such a brisk or chilly biting night. One more, you have taken us to, should have been you have taken us, you had taken us to. So one more is something for Toastmaster as recommendation could have been few anecdotes or pointers for recommendation. This was from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta. I'm sorry if I missed how many times
Sorry.
the word of the
Yeah,
day
yeah.
was used.
Sorry. It was used 3 times. If I have not missed this, if anybody else other also, once by Arithro, once by Abhijit Bose, and once by Shweta Kishan.
Okay, so that was the only missing part. I think so. You have corrected it by yourself. So there is nothing more to add on to recommendations. The commendations are that you have explained your role in a very proper manner. You have also shared the word of the day in the chat box, which helps the speaker when he's speaking. So great job done on your part. Next, I'll do the evaluation for the Sergeant at Arms. So today the meeting started bang on time. Great job done on that part. Your energy level was superb. Today we also read the oath, the Toastmasters promise, the first time in this new year. So kudos to you for doing that as well. Anything else? Yes, you could have shared one small story as well, given that it was the last time you were speaking as a Sergeant at Arms. So maybe you could have added that. Next, I come to the president of the club. President had an amazing, inspirational presidential speech. He thanked the existing EC members and he welcomed the upcoming EC members. He acknowledged the presence of some of the veteran Toastmasters in our club. So this is something that we all should learn from him as a leader. You also had the guest introductions in place. I think so. You just missed one of the guest introductions, but that's okay. You can make it up in the next meeting as well. Last but not the least, we have the Toastmaster of the day. Wonderfully and tactfully done, I would say. So apt theme for the apt timing, festive seasons, New Year's resolutions, and a wonderful theme chosen on your part. You explained the sessions, all the 3 sections. The only recommendation that I have for you is if you could have handled the transitions well. That is the only recommendations from my end. You also had a lot of interaction with the guest. So that was also a great job done on your part. And next, some generic recommendations that I have as a whole. Whenever there is a distinguished Toastmaster in the podium, we always say distinguished Toastmaster. We do not use the acronym DTM. So it is something that we should incorporate in while coming on this podium, that it is distinguished Toastmaster rather than DTM. And next, we should also take the sharing access before starting the meeting so that it doesn't hinder the flow of the meeting. With this said, I'll give the podium back to the Toastmaster of the day. And that's
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag, for that mellow evaluation section. Thank you, all the tag role players. Before handing over the e-podium to the president for closing the meeting, I'll go back to the first question I had, that who all believes in the New Year's resolutions. I had Kshitiz and Rima who had raised their hands. I told them I'll get back to them. So Kshitiz, would you like to come and share why you believe in New Year's resolution? What do you think? What makes you believe in it, basically?
Madam Toastmaster of the day, there's a minute correction. I do not believe in New Year's resolution. I believe in making it.
Okay.
but fulfilling is the hard job.
Okay. Right. Okay. Can Rima is there? I think Rima is left. Right. We have a few guests. Guest Akanksha, would you like to come and speak? Guest Ayush. Anybody would like to come and speak here? Jashim is there, and I think guest Shubham Gupta. Anyone available? Yeah, Shubham is there. Yeah, Shubham, I would just like to ask whether you've made a New Year's resolution ever in life.
Yeah, I usually make a New Year resolution always, but it gets like violated on 2nd of January. So,
yeah, so that's I think valid for every one of us. But would you like to share any one that you were able to pull off for a long time? Not like achieve it, but at least for the first week or so.
one can be to be regular at gym, and this year New Year resolution is to go to Kedarnath and like visit that place. So let's see I'm able to complete it or not.
Okay, so best of luck for that. I hope you are able to achieve it at least after having this meeting on resolution. So let's hope.
Yeah, sure, I'll try.
Anybody else who would like to share their New Year's resolution, which is inspiration for the rest of us? Anybody? People, we have time. It's only 5:20 now. Yay! Anyone? Abhijit, would you like to share your New Year's resolution?
Well, I believe that it's a kind of hypocrisy, like a resolution. Seriously, because whenever we are taking that resolution, it is never successful, right? If we are taking any kind of resolution on 31st December, eventually we are unable to fulfill it. I personally was never able to fulfill it.
Right, okay.
If I'm taking it in December, it either fulfills in June, July. So I don't believe.
Yeah, okay.
It's my opinion.
Yeah, sharing your opinion. Toastmaster Aditya, would you like to share your New Year's resolution or whether you have ever made it? You're muted. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't recall actually when was the last time I had a New Year resolution. I guess back in school maybe that I'll be more I'll study more or stuff like that. Maybe. Apart from that, I can't recall. No.
I think Toastmaster Amrish has something to share. Yeah.
Previous years ago, I was trying to make a resolution, but in 1 week I understand that I'm not able to fulfill that. So every night I make a resolution to wake up early and do yoga, and 3-4 times in a week I am able to fulfill that, and rest 3 days I am sleeping till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That is,
Right.
that is
So
the
at
thing.
least, at least you tried. So what, even 3-4 days is
Yeah,
a
that
good
is.
number of days. Yeah.
And my view on resolution, it should not be like for 1 year. It is a long lasting. Like if I am doing have to do exercise, it is not for 1 year or 1 month. It is like if I have made the resolution today, it is applicable for whole of my life, not for a year. So why to make same resolution every year in the beginning of the year?
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrish. I think Toastmaster Ashutosh had something to share. Yeah.
I just want to add something very quickly, although I have already declared that I don't take New Year's resolution. But since you were saying, if you can share something, I thought maybe I'll share this, that something which I have in my bucket list, and probably that's going to be there till the time I'm here on this earth, is to be healthy, wealthy, and instead of purpose, I will say wise. I will say, having some purpose in life. So these are three targets which I have for myself: being healthy, being wealthy, and discovering purpose of my life. Not for New Year, but that's for my life.
Life's resolution. So that makes it, that actually it takes care of all of it all, with healthy, wealthy, and then purpose in life. I think that's what everybody aims in life, probably the final ambitions. Toastmaster Shweta, you've not shared anything. You would like to share something?
I truly don't believe in New Year resolutions. I did that back in my school days only. And I tried to fulfill at least for a month or two if I stand in that year statistical figure, but I cannot stand that up to 6 months.
Right. Thank you so much. I think Toastmaster guest Mayank, guest Akanksha, guest Jashim, I think you're the only ones left. If you want to come on screen and share something, we would be happy. Or else I'll hand over to our president of the club, Toastmaster Amrish. And I would like to admit that I myself have never been able to fulfill any of the New Year's resolutions. And the whole purpose of having the theme of the meeting today was to get inspired by at least one of the stories, so that I can come up with one resolution and then actually achieve it. I think guest Akanksha is there. Would you like to share something on New Year's resolution, Akanksha? Anything? Your view, or maybe you've done it?
Yeah, generally I don't do that, because I started to do that, but then I realized that I'm not going to fulfill it. Then I stopped doing that.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for appearing and then sharing your thoughts. Yeah. So handing over to our president of the club for the first time. Maybe congratulations on being elected as the president of the club. Toastmaster Amrish, over to you for closing the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shraddha, for such a lovely session. Really, it is a good session, and I found many people are like me only. They don't believe in New Year resolution. So I'm with the crowd, not out of the crowd. Now, I'd like to take some views of our guests, how they have felt. So let me ask Toastmaster Akanksha, how she felt about the meeting, and what she felt good about today. Toastmaster Akanksha.
Yeah, it was a great experience listening to everybody's speech, and maybe we can learn from this and embrace the same thing in our club. Yeah, that's
Thank
all.
you. Thank you, Akanksha. May I know the guest, Mayank, about you and how you come to know about the VirtuoMasters Club? Mayank, are you there? I think he is not available.
Hello.
Yes, Mayank. Can you tell me about you and how you come to know about VirtuoMasters Club?
Yes, I am from IIFT Toastmasters Club, and I am the treasurer of the club.
Very good.
Yes.
And how you felt today by attending our meeting? This is the first meeting of the year.
Yes, I felt good because this is my first meeting of Toastmaster ever. So I felt
Okay.
good.
Okay, very good, very good. This is, I think, new club which is launched, and you are the treasurer there. It is very good to know about that.
Yes.
We we generally meet every Saturday 4 p.m. So feel free to join us at every week.
Sure, definitely.
And now I will ask the experience of Jasim for of today's meeting. Jasim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Like repeating it again, even this is like first Toastmaster meeting I ever attended to, and being the first one, it was an installation, and of course, it was great listening to the speeches of the great speaker Ashish and the other one, like
Anshu.
Yeah, with Anshu, and I learned a lot. So
Okay.
yeah, a very great experience indeed. The first.
I request everyone to switch on the camera so that we will take a group picture. Shilpa ji, please. Shilpa ji is taking the.
Done.
Thank you. And indeed, today it was an amazing meeting with two amazing speakers. They have done the best. And now I have the voting results, so that in category 1, the winner for today's meeting between Timod and G is Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shraddha. Many congratulations. In category 2, among the tag role players, this is Grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Sweta Kisan. See her reaction. Oh, and among the speakers, Toastmaster and Ansu and Toastmaster Asutosh. Toastmaster Asutosh is the winner for today's speech. Congratulations to all of them. And since I was disqualified for voting, so DTM Soria has all the love for evaluation section. Thank you. And I'm closing the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.